those are primarily the sources where everything on the internet comes from anyway. And so therefore it will filter through the internet no matter what happens.
Yeah, we'll just be talking about that anyway.
Yeah.
So you just referred to the quantum financial system, and you are expert in the financial area, Paladin. So could you tell us what you can talk about the reset, please?
Well, the new system will be asset backed. So that will be gold, that will be silver, that will be various natural resources of the countries. That will also include, I think, a calculation perhaps for GDP or productivity, which would relate to labor. And that will determine how much currency a country does put into circulation. And the system then is that's a different part. There's sort of two parts. There's the foundation of the monetary system, which will be asset backed, which is completely the opposite of what we have now. There's nothing backing the currencies. When we go to asset backing, then it will be a whole different system. But the system, the infrastructure of the system itself is going to change, and it's going to be more secure. It's not, the cabal will not be able to go in and manipulate the data. They will not be able to go in and steal money. There are various checks and balances that they're going to put in to prevent that. There's going to be obviously a conversion at some point in the future where for you guys, you use yen, so you have X amount of yen in your bank account. That's old yen that's not asset backed. They will trade that out for the new asset backed currency. So that will happen. Now, when they make the conversion to the new system, I don't know if you're familiar with off balance sheet accounts, but that is money that they keep off balance sheet, which means they don't report it. Okay, so it's like if you ever heard the term, they're keeping two sets of books. One set of books they show the public, and the second set of books they don't show. Well, the second set of books is like the off balance sheet accounts. They have also been sometimes referred to as the collateral accounts. They will not, and that's where all the cabal has their money, in the off balance sheet. They will not be able to bring that money into the new system. It will not be allowed in. So right away, they will lose all their wealth.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That as soon as the quantum financial system starts, the cabal will go down. And I know that you talked about the 24 satellites, and Space Force are protecting them.
Yeah, it's interesting. Trump has been touting the Space Force ever since he took office, and at his rallies and at his speeches. And well, I probably shouldn't go into too much about that, other than to say that the Space Force will be securing communications that were not secure before.
But it's interesting to hear that these quantum computers will be on the satellites.
Well, it's interesting about the quantum, because that is a term that everyone is using. If you think about the quantum, if you know anything about quantum computing, you will know that the quantum computer is very, very small, but it's usually in a very, very big container, let's say, because that container, the system, the computer runs so fast, it gets very, very hot, and it needs to be cooled all the time. Otherwise it'll get too hot. And if you think about space, it's very cold in space.
Oh, I see. That's the reason why.
Yeah, so it would be easier to keep it cooler up there.
Do you think the extraterrestrial is cooperating in all this?
I think they are, but I'm not really sure how. That's another That's another subject altogether.
Yes, Cassidy knows all about it.
Carrie would be the expert to go to for that.
And also, how about the quantum voting system? Is that going to be used? Do you know anything?
You know, they've talked about that, and they've talked about the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we're already voting. We have what they call early voting, where they've opened the polls, so you can go vote now, right now. So I would think if they were going to institute that, I mean, the rumor was it was going to be blockchain on a blockchain, like cryptocurrencies, but that would have been instituted by now. If they're not going to do that, if they were going to do that for this election, it would already be in place.
Okay. You said it's going to be backed by certain assets, but I thought it was gold, just gold. But
well, it's, you know, there are some countries that don't have gold, but they have assets that you could convert to gold, or you could use a valuation in gold, if that makes sense.
yes. But
Because the value of their assets is going to determine how much currency they put into their system.
Oh, I see. Yes, I understand that completely.
Yeah, there'll be a relationship. It'll be a ratio. It'll be a relationship.
Oh, okay.
And there are some countries, let's say, for example, some of the countries in the Middle East, they have oil, right? They have oil in the ground, and they have oil that they're refining and processing. And so that is an asset that they can use to back their currency.
So it's not going to be like one currency that the deep state was trying to have, the digital one currency. So this is, each country is going to have its own currency as before, but it's going to be digital and backed by assets.
Yes, that's exactly right.
The ratio between each country, the rate, is going to be determined by how much assets each country has.
Yeah, and that's an excellent question, because I know there's a lot of people that like to invest on the Forex, which is, it's simply currency pairs. You have, the US dollar and the Japanese yen, and the US dollar and the euro, and the US dollar and the Great Britain, the British pound. And so there are different currency pairs in the Forex market, which is called the foreign exchange market. And I don't know what the future is for the Forex market, but my own opinion is it's like the stock market. It's just a casino that they use to steal our money, because they manipulate the stock market, they manipulate the Forex market, the banks manipulate both of them so heavily. It's unbelievable. I mean, it is literally a casino.
Really? Wow.
Yes, it is literally, because banks, especially the Forex market, banks take positions, because banks have currencies. They have various currencies in their deposits, right? They could have US dollars, like you could have a bank in Japan that could have 5 or 6 different currencies in their deposits. And so depending on what they have to pay out in what currency, or what they have to take in what currency, sometimes they will manipulate the prices, because when they do the exchanges, it'll be beneficial to them.
Oh, yeah.
And they manipulate them bad.
But
so my own hope is that the Forex markets will be closed. The casinos will be closed down.
Great. But we don't have to do anything. We can exchange fiat money that we have to the new one. So
yes. They're going to vet it. And by vet it, I mean the example that I used earlier about the off-balance sheet accounts. They will, if banks have off-balance sheet accounts and they want to bring them into the new system, they're going to have to prove where that money came from, and they won't be able to do that. Because they're going to have to prove they earned it, they paid taxes on it. It's not for child trafficking, it's not for drugs, it's not for contraband, it's not for weapons, and they're not going to be able to do that. So they're going to be completely shut out of the new system.
But for the ordinary people, we don't do any of those. So for us,
no, we don't have to worry about that, because what you and I have in our bank accounts that's already verified. That's already, that's already good. So all they're going to do is just, whenever they make the switch, we have $100 today. Tomorrow we have 98. We have 100. They'll just automatically do it. It will be but the drug dealers, the off-balance sheet accounts, none of that will be able to come into the new system because they have to prove it. They have to prove where they earned it, where they got it. They have to give you the line, the history of the funds, and they have to show that they've paid taxes on any income that they've made off the history of those funds, and they won't be able to do that. They just won't be able to.
I think you said that President Trump might announce it, or maybe he might not even announce it. So,
yeah, our team is kind of split on that. Some people think he's going to announce it. It's going to be announced. And some people think, no, they're not going to announce it. They're just going to switch. And it's not going to really affect the general populace as far as the value of your money. So there's really, no need to. I mean, there's going to be a position, there's going to be a time frame for the transition to the new system, and that's going to take a little bit of time. Some people think 6 months, some people think a year or two. We really don't know. It could happen. I guess it could happen overnight if they get it coordinated. So there's not really much we can do. I know a lot of people are interested. They're kind of wanting to get the inside scoop, so to speak, so that maybe they can position themselves to take advantage of this. And I really don't have any. I really don't have anything to add to that, or I'm not in the habit of giving investment advice. But what I would say is, and this is probably a hint. Gold and silver the prices have been depressed for years and years and years. And if gold and silver is are some of the assets that they're going to use to back the currencies, then that should tell you everything you need to know.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry it's getting quite long, but one or two more questions. I'm just curious about this gold. The gold is going to back some of the currencies. I think maybe the gold was hidden, and do you know if there's the gold is?
Oh gosh, Mayoko, that is such a long subject. It's okay.
Yeah.
The gold. We have a joke over here that if you want to find gold, don't go to Fort Knox because there isn't any there, and that's supposed to be where it is. There's a lot of gold, or there was a lot of gold over in your part of the world, in the Philippines. Yeah, there was, I'm sure you have heard the stories about Yamashita's gold and the gold in the Philippines. And so there's a lot of gold out there. There's much more gold in the world than what has been reported. So it's going to be very interesting to see when countries back their currencies with gold, if anybody bothers to tally up how much gold's out there, because everybody is going to be very, very surprised at the number.
So we don't have to worry about that we don't have enough gold to back the currency. We do.
No, we don't have to. No, that's the least of everybody's problems. And see, the gold, there's a certification process with the gold too. And I don't know if you've heard the rumors that the Clintons tried to pay China off with tungsten, gold-plated tungsten, and the Chinese drilled into the bars and found out it was tungsten. It wasn't real gold. So there is a process that we have to go through to certify, assay the gold to make sure that it's really gold, and to set it aside, because gold is used for other purposes other than backing money. Of course, same with silver. Silvers, they use a lot of silver in computer parts. So a lot of those, so you have to kind of segregate that out, and each country will have to determine how much gold and silver they want to put into their financial system, because gold and silver will determine how much currency they have.
Okay, thank you. And also, I'm very excited about all these new technologies getting released. like med bed and some of the treatments, new treatments? Do you think like we can expect that?
That will be part, yes, that will be part of all of this, because unfortunately, taxpayers, citizens all over the world have been financing that, and you know, it's their money that they've spent our money to develop all that technology, and they have not shared it with us at all. They use it, a lot of it, against us, to surveil us, to watch us, to conduct their wars. So that once that technology is released, it's going to be a whole different world.
Yes. And also I heard that the Tesla towers are going to be used for the free energy.
Yeah, that's, you know, there's a lot of talk about the Tesla towers. I think there's a lot of technology that was stolen from Tesla. That's, you know, 100 years old, and that's going to be released because, you know, we are controlled a lot of our lives. We are controlled with energy. We're controlled with money, basically. They control us with money. So you have to have money to eat. You have to have money to buy a house or to pay your rent. You have to have money to buy a car so you can get places. You have to have gas. You have to heat your house. You have to have electricity in your house, and all these things, all the power, especially the power, the energy, that it's all free. We can get that all free. But you know, we have the utility companies that you know, want to keep it for themselves and then charge us for it and make us buy it from them. But there are technologies out there where we will have free energy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope that comes out very soon. And there's also healing technologies. There are lots of technologies that people are going to be very, very surprised when they come out.
So it's going to be a completely new planet. And we have to change the infrastructure. And so there'll be lots of work needed to
Yes.
So everybody's going to be very busy. So that's why where we go one, we go all.
Yes, that's it takes all of us.
But it's an exciting journey. So very bright journey, bright future.
Yes. We just have to, we have to remember that we are still in a battle that we have not won yet. So we have to stay vigilant. We have to stay hopeful, and we have to keep our eyes open, because we haven't won, but we are literally battling for humanity.
Okay. So thank you very much, Paladin, for this very long talk. It was so precious. And I want to finish the part 1 now that we can read.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Paladin. Thank you.